All right. How's everybody doing this late Friday night? So sorry for the late inconvenience, but just got back from the Union County football game, my alma mater, and here for a our first edition of high school football final. And I just got back in. Got a few games to go over tonight. Welcome everybody from YouTube and Facebook. This is my first Facebook stream I have done, so welcome to everybody from both social media outlets. We're gonna get down to business. Our first game is not a high school game; it is a college football game. Just went final. UCF versus Louisville today, and Louisville with a pick six in the final 13 seconds, returning 66 yards, and Louisville knocks off the Golden Knights at home 42 to I believe 35 in the final 13 seconds. A pick six off the hands of Daniel Gibson, the quarterback for UCF, and UCF falls to 2-1 of the year as Louisville picked their second one of the year. That game just went final. And now we're going to get to the high school level games. First game we'll talk about is Hilliard and Lafayette. And Hilliard Lafayette, that game was postponed due to a thunderstorm, and that game will be rescheduled to play next week on the 20th of September. We're going to go also now down to Polk County, where the Lakeland Dreadnoughts took over the Lake Gibson Braves, and the Braves took down the Dreadnoughts 38-32 in a route to a victory for the Lake Gibson Braves. In Tallahassee today, well, not Tallahassee, Wakulla, Florida, right outside of Tallahassee, the Wakulla War Eagles took on the Godby Cougars, and the War Eagles took down the Cougars 10-9 en route to the victory. A very low-scoring game between Godby and Wakulla, but it's the War Eagles took down the Cougars 10-9 at home in Crawfordville. In Lake City, Florida tonight, it's the Columbia County Tigers, the so-called real Tigers, they call themselves, taking on the Inglewood Rams out of Jacksonville. There's the Tigers knocking off the Rams of Inglewood 41-18. The Tigers picking up a very big win at home tonight against the Rams, a 23-point victory for the Columbia County Tigers. Another team out of Jacksonville, this time in Jacksonville, is the Ed White Commanders versus the Swanee Bulldogs from Live Oak, and it's the Commanders with a 40-24 victory over the Bulldogs. Very high-scoring game out there in Jacksonville. The Commanders run away with it 40-24 over Swanee. Also in Jacksonville, it's the Sandalwood Saints taking on the Creekside Knights, and it was the road team with the victory. Creekside takes the victory on the road against Sandalwood, 20-16. Creekside with the victory over Sandalwood. Out there at Fernandina Beach, it was the Fernandina Pirates against the Bowles Bulldogs, and we all know Bowles took care of that one. Bowles run away with it, 49-14. All Bulldogs in that one in Fernandina. Also in Jacksonville, the Remote Trojans versus the Westside Wolverines, and it was the Trojans shutting out Westside 27-0. All Trojans in this blowout in Jacksonville. Also in Jacksonville, it was the Mandarin Mustangs versus the Barton Trail Braves, and it was the Barton Trail Braves on the road in Mandarin taking care of business, 24-8 over Mandarin. In Stark, it was the Bradford County Tornadoes hosting the University Christian, I believe the Christians of University Christian, taking on Stark at home on the road, and it was the Bradford Tornadoes coming up short at home against the Christians. University Christian eked out a road victory, 27-20 over Coach Thomason and his Tornadoes. Those Tornadoes are now 1-3 on the season. In Polk County, it was a Kathleen Red Devils taking on the George Jenkins Eagles, and it's the Red Devils with an 18-point victory over George Jenkins. 18-0 was the final in a low defensive scoring game where Kathleen pitched out a shutout. Congratulations, Red Devils with an 18-0 victory. In Auburndale, the Auburndale Bloodhounds took on the Heritage Panthers, and it was the Bloodhounds with a 20-0 shutout. The Bloodhounds with the victory at home, 20-0 over Heritage. In Branford, the surprise team of the area, the Branford Buccaneers, the Buccos, taking the Zarephath Eagles of Jacksonville as the Buccaneers going to a 4-0 start as they eked out an 8-point victory over the Eagles. Brantford 4-0 with a 32-24 victory at home. Also in near Jacksonville is in Glade St. Mary's. The Baker County Wildcats hit the field against the Paxton Eagles, and it was the Wildcats 42-7 runaway at home against Paxton. The game I just came from, Union County, number 2 in Class 1A, host the PK Young Blue Wave, I mean, 4A, their 4A division classification, and they came out on fire. PK Young up to a 13-0 lead at first on the Tigers, down early in the first quarter. But the Tigers, 21 unanswered in the second quarter alone, take a 21-13 lead at the break. Tigers run away 28-13, 28 unanswered after trailing 13-0 at the beginning of the game. Tigers all the way, 28-13. The Tigers are now 3-0 in the season, hold on to the Class 2 1A standing, and they will travel to Williston next week for their first road contest of the year. Congratulations, Tigers, with a 15-point victory. In Jacksonville, it was the Terry Parker Braves versus the Yulee Hornets, and it was Terry Parker with a 1-point victory over Yulee, 14-13. Terry Parker with the victory as Terry Parker holds on to Yulee at home with a 1-point victory. The Trenton Tigers over there in Levy County take on Crescent City. The Raiders with the big victory, a high-scoring shootout, 47-41. Crescent City ekes out a 6-point victory over Trenton. The Raiders, winners on the road in Trenton. Santa Fe traveling to Fort White, Columbia County. It was at first Santa Fe with a 15-0 lead through 2 quarters, but the Indians, 4 unanswered touchdowns en route to a 28-15 victory over Santa Fe. Fort White comes from 15 down to win 28-15 over the Raiders of Santa Fe. In First Coast in Jacksonville, it's the First Coast Bucks versus the Ponte Vedra Sharks, and the Sharks took a bite out of the Bucks, literally 27-7. Winners on the road, the Sharks take out the Buccaneers with a 20-point victory. The Stingrays of Atlantic Coast hosted the Nice Panthers today, and for the Stingrays, they didn't really sting much today as the Nice Panthers run over the Stingrays 35-14. Nice with a big victory again today against Atlantic Coast. We're going to go also to Jacksonville, Battle 2 private school, the Trinity Christian Conquerors taking on the Clearwater Knights, and this game right now is currently in overtime. It is 50-50 in overtime right now. We will give you the final score later on in the stream. Hopefully, it's going to be over by the end of this video. But the Conquerors and Knights are tied at 50 going into the first overtime period. In Bartow, Florida, the Yellow Jackets of Bartow taking on the Victory Christian Storm of Lakeland, Florida. It was the Yellow Jackets stinging up all over the Storm, 41-7. Bartow with a big victory at home over the Storm. In Lynn Haven, Florida, the Mosley Dolphins taking on the Lincoln Trojans of Tallahassee. It was the Dolphins swimming all over the Trojans, 42-14. The Mosley Dolphins knocks off the Lincoln Trojans of Tallahassee, 42-14. In Tallahassee, the Charles Timberwolves host the Madison County Cowboys. Madison County coming in number 1 in Class 1A. Suffers their second loss on the year at hands of the Timberwolves. Charles with a huge upset over Madison County, 20-14. The Timberwolves knock off the Cowboys, 20-14. Great win for Charles against a very strong Madison County football team. In Middleburg, Floyd, Clay County, it was the Middleburg Broncos hosting the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets, and it was the Yellow Jackets knocking off the Broncos in a high-scoring affair, 54-37. Yellow Jackets with a 17-point victory over Middleburg. Also in Clay County, right up the street, is the Orange Park Raiders hosting the Riverside Generals, and the Generals marched their way up and down the Raiders tonight, 41-9. Riverside with a big victory over the Orange Park Raiders. We're going to go to on the other side of the coast, Palm Coast, where the Matanzas Pirates hosted the Gainesville Hurricanes. The Purple Hurricanes making the trip to Matanzas to take on the Pirates, and it was the Hurricanes blowing all over the Pirates today, 57-16. DHS with a huge victory, going back to Gainesville with a 41-point victory. 57-16 is the final. GHS winners on the road. In Gainesville, the Buchholz Bobcats come off a big victory over rival Eastside 42-7 last week. They took on a very powerful Cardinal Gibbons team for Fort Lauderdale, and it was the Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs in a defensive slugfest against Buchholz, take down the Buchholz Bobcats 16-7 in a low-scoring affair. Buchholz falls at home 16-7 to Cardinal Gibbons. In Dunellen, it was the Dunellen Tigers hosting the Crystal River Pirates, and Dunellen took a bite out of crime on the Pirates today. Dunellen wins 34-0 at home, 34-0 shutout for the Dunellen Tigers. In St. Augustine, the Mendez Falcons take on the Eastside Rams, come off a disappointing week last week, losing 42-7 to in-city rival Buchholz. Once again, Article put up 7 points again. Mendez takes the 41-7 victory, almost identical last week's game against Buchholz, just 1 point less. 41-7, the Falcons knock off the Rams. West Nassau, the West Nassau Warriors take on the Baldwin Indians, and Baldwin gets a slight victory on the road, 21-13, as Baldwin come into West Nassau and escapes with an 8-point victory. Congratulations to the Indians with a big victory on the road. Keystone Heights makes the travel to Umatilla today to take on the Bulldogs and the Keystone Heights Indians. Way over from Clay County, 68-13. The Indians put up a wallop on the Tigers, on the Bulldogs, 68-13, a 55-point bludgeon of the Umatilla Bulldogs. Congratulations to Keystone with a very impressive road victory. In Ocala today, the Trinity Catholic Celtics, or Celtics, whatever you want to call them, I call them the Celtics. The Celtics, with a hard-fought defensive struggle against Carrollwood Day out of Tampa. The Carrollwood Day Patriots come out short against the Trinity Catholic Celtics, 14-0, in a defensive shutout for the Celtics. In Davenport, Florida, where we saw the Winter Haven Blue Devils travel to take on the Bolts of Ridgeview Community, and Ridgeview Community knocks off Winter Haven 36-26. The Bolts strike and knocks off the Blue Devils 36-26 at home. NFC, Tallahassee NFC, the Eagles take on the Taylor County Bulldogs, and it's NFC with a 1-point victory over the Bulldogs. The Eagles fly high and they win 27-26 over the Taylor County Bulldogs. In Interlachen today, it was the Rams hosting the Holy Trinity Tigers out of Melbourne, Florida. I apologize. Holy Trinity out of Melbourne comes in Interlachen and knocks off the Rams 27-16. Holy Trinity knocks off Interlachen 27-16. In Jacksonville, the Bishop Kenny Crusaders took on the Tochi Creek Toros, and the Toros was not charged today as Bishop Kenny, the Crusaders, they win to win 36-0 against the Tochi Creek Toros. 36-0. Bishop Kenny are your winners. In Bell, Florida, the Battle of Levy and Gilchrist County. The Bell Bulldogs took on the Taylor Wildcats out of Pearson, Florida. It was the Taylor Wildcats knocking off the Bell Bulldogs 23-20. Taylor with a 3-point victory road against Bell. In Jacksonville, the Wolfson Wolfpack took on Christchurch Eagles in a defensive slugfest. It was the Wolfpack taking out Christchurch 14-6. Big win for Wilson today. In St. Augustine, the battle between St. Augustine and Nice. St. Augustine with a 34-14 victory over Nice. Big win for the Yellow Jackets of St. Augustine. Crestview, the Crestview Bulldogs taking on the Rickers Raiders of Tallahassee, Florida, and it's Rick High. The Rickers Raiders with a 31-21 victory over Crestview. Congratulations to Rickers with a 10-point victory on the road. And a battle between Hawthorne and Newberry. Hawthorne coming number 4 in Class 1A, and they show why they're a top 5 team with those front seven, and that offensive line of Hawthorne is humongous. I mean, D1 caliber. They destroyed Newberry 48-7. Hawthorne runs away, but it wasn't even close. Hawthorne remains unbeaten in Class 1A. Final few games on the schedule. Port St. Lucie falls short against Heritage 42-0. Vanguard at home taking on the Denali Tigers. Sorry, that was last week. So that was it for all the games for this week. We should review our games for the games for tomorrow. The game of the week: number 1 Alabama taking on number 11 Florida in the Swamp. It is projected to rain very bad. We have a tropical storm in the state, and hopefully the rain will surpass us before kickoff. But indeed, it's going to go down to a battle of runners, and Florida is pretty prepared this year as they're running the football very effective compared to was last year. Will Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson play separate minutes like they last week against USF, or will it be Emory Jones all the way against Alabama and then throw Richardson in for a couple of packages? Richardson is dealing with a hamstring, but Coach Mullen said today that Dan Mullen said that Richardson will be ready for Alabama. He will be ready to go against Alabama. So we will have AR-15 in the lineup against Alabama. I did say the other day in my last video, I did say Florida will fall short 34-20. I still believe that Alabama still is the better team. We're going to make it real competitive through the first 3 quarters, but I think Alabama's going to wear us down and get the victory. I am a Gator fan, like I've been saying before. Ball's got to be real. Alabama is the better team. You see why they're defending national champions. I think Alabama going to get a job done on the road. I think Bryce Young will make enough plays to keep the Tide undefeated, stay number 1 in the country. But no disrespect to us. This is just a measuring stick game to see where we're at, where we are going to be moving forward. Are we going to be a contender for the playoffs? Are we going to be a contender for the SEC championship? We have a tough schedule. We still got to play Alabama tomorrow. We still got a slugfest getting ready to go down to Georgia against Georgia. We still got a tough LSU team we got to take care of. So just because they lost to UCLA you can't overlook LSU. Last year we overlooked LSU. We lost to them in the Swamp on senior night. So we get no opponents going forward. So I'm very excited for tomorrow's game. I'm also very excited for all the games for Saturday, including the Auburn Tigers traveling to Penn State. The take on Nittany Lions. That's going to be a good game. And then on Sunday, we got the Jaguars and the Broncos and a lot of other games we're going to see this weekend. I made my predictions, and I can go over a few of them right quick. I did say Auburn's going to beat Penn State. I did say the Jags going to lose to Denver. That's just a couple games I can think of. Right now, me and my friends did a pick them for the whole weekend for NFL and college. And right now I'm 0-2. I had 2 tough losses. The Giants screwed me over last night. And UCF throws a pick 6 to cost me the game. So right now I'm 0-2, but I'm okay with it. I think the rest of my weekend's going pretty well with the picks I selected. But that's it for the video today. Thank you for choosing to watch my first high school final video. We will do another one next week and for the rest of the remainder of the season. Today I think the video was very successful. I gotta stop saying the word but thank you for the people who chimed in and gave me some criticism about how my first video went. And we're gonna continue to build and go forward. But today's video was, I think, a success, and we're gonna continue this series going forward. Thank you for choosing Whoop & Company. This is Whoop, and Whoop out.